Alright, let me tell you something. This is my favorite question ever. I will always answer this. You want good Spidey comic runs? I got you. First on the list, Ultimate Spider-Man. Ice cold take, but this is the best starting point for any Spider-Man comic book reader. And that's because besides a few story changes and an overall more grounded tone, this is basically just the abridged version of The Amazing Spider-Man. It puts a high school Peter Parker up against the likes of Kingpin and the Green Goblin. Bro is huge. While in The Amazing Spider-Man, Peter doesn't face the heavy hitters of his rogues gallery until he's well into college. The same can be said for Peter's friends that we usually associate him with, like Mary Jane, Harry, and Gwen, who Amazing Peter really doesn't interact with until well into his series. Despite the bigger story elements happening a lot faster for this version of the character, by far my favorite thing about Ultimate Spider-Man is just how much downtime we get. It's a rare occurrence where we actually get to see all of these people act like regular people. And it's not even just the main cast. Literally all the characters that have any genuine interaction with Spider-Man have their own arcs. It's super satisfying as a reader. As an added bonus, this was actually the comic that included the debut of one Miles Morales. Next up is the 2015 run simply titled Spidey. If you're wanting a slightly less grounded, more wholesome take on Spider-Man's origins, I would actually recommend this before Ultimate Spider-Man. Like with Ultimate Spider-Man, this was kind of an abridged version of the Amazing Spider-Man comics, but with a kind of cute classic art style. I mean, just look at Iron Man, rocking those red metal underpants. What I really like about this comic is how it really feels like a coming-of-age story for Spider-Man. Peter's just this naive, young superhero trying to make his way both as Spider-Man and as a teenager. There was a kind of spin-off comic in 2018 called Spider-Man Schools Out that seemed to pull a little bit from the movies, and that's just kind of a pet peeve of mine. But luckily, Spidey by itself is a pretty solid run with a good ending. There's also a bunch of chunks of Spider-Man runs and different retellings and spin-offs that I could go through. So as always, if you guys are interested in that, just, let me know. And since some of you guys were asking for updates, I'm currently working on remodeling my version of Spider-Man for my animated series, and he's looking pretty good so far. All I gotta do now is paint him, rig him, and run a few animation tests. But hey, if you like this video, prove it. Like the freaking video. Other than that...
Ah! My boy!